Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Casual Chris, and in today's lesson, I will teach you how to compress using Beatmaker 3. Before starting this out, I just want you guys to let you know that in my early stages of making music, one of the first mistakes I realized I was making was I was using too much compression. So that's my advisory to you before you start making music. Don't start thinking that you got to add compression with everything. Okay, now going into that, let's go ahead and go into how to do it. So I loaded up a Sunriser, one of my favorite synths here. That's on default settings. It's just gonna play, default, nothing. That's so that you guys can hear it. I also have something over here, more of a symbol, has of a lot of attack. Attack is that thing that you hear first. So it's pretty sharp. As soon as I hit the note, it's there. That's what I mean by attack. As soon as I hit that note, it's there. This one has a little bit of a delay before it gets really loud, but it'll work for what we're trying to do. So, two different examples. So what would you do here? You would lay out a pattern. Personally, I'm just going to do a 4 on the floor because that's just easy to do. Cool. So I'm just laying out a real quick 4 on the floor just just so I can show you an example of what compression would be doing. So next you go into your audio effects, which is down here, this button right there. You hit it, hit add audio effect, go to your dynamic processor. Cool. So this is your compressor. Here's how I learned, and it barely clicked for me. Sometimes it takes, I've been making music for a while. I've been making music this entire time, and compression clicked for me last month. Clicked. Like, I always knew what it was, but eventually you will find that you completely understand what's going on. And once that moment comes, it's a great revelation, man. So don't don't feel bad if you can't get it. I know I watched a lot of tutorials that said don't feel bad, and I still felt bad, but this is the best way that I've known, that I learned to learn this. So what I'm doing is I'm increasing the ratio to the most. I want to hear what this compressor is going to do to my sound. Next, usually I'll put that release higher, but I've noticed that 50 is a pretty good starting point. 50 milliseconds is a pretty good starting point. Again, you can put this all the way to the max, because what I'm basically listening for right now is the attack. I want to be able to control the attack. I want to be able, so that when the note hits, when it hits too loud, I want to be able to grab that section and then do what I want with it. That's how I can best describe it. When you grab what you want in the sound and you make it longer, shorter, less harsh, it just depends. So here we go. I got heavy attack. Now it's not doing anything because I have no threshold. Threshold tells the compressor basically anything that goes over however low you have this, I want that to duck. I want to grab it. So in this case, you want to drop this threshold while it's playing so that you hear a difference. You can hear it not be as loud. So let's So did you hear that? That's exactly what I want to grab right there. This is without it. You hear that? It's banging hard. And then it got quiet. That's all I want. Once I have that, that's the key. This attack was important too. Now with this attack, I should have done this attack and you kind of do it at the same time. But with the attack, you want to move this around. Start from, usually I'll start from like 300. I'll start from the last, the furthest they'll go. And then I'll work it all the way until I hear it change the sound. And again, this is something that you will learn over time, but Beatmaker 3, hey, you could take it anywhere, so you can learn how to compress anywhere. Damn, that's a great video. Title. Let's play it. I'm grabbing the attack. Oh. So I can hear it now at 51 that it's starting to grab what the loudest part of the song. It's starting to grab it. It's still loud, but it's starting to grab it. Let me turn it off and see if you can hear what I'm talking about. See, it's still loud, but it's starting to grab it. So this right here is probably a good setting. This is probably a conservative setting here. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna really find out when it's grabbing that loudest point of that sound. So you hear it changing right here. 43. So this, if you can hear it, it's not letting it just get up to its loudest peak. This is a good setting too. So you have options. You could grab it at 3 milliseconds, or you can go up to the 43 that you heard earlier, and you could say, yeah, I'm gonna grab it there. Damn, come on. Cool. And you see that difference? So the difference, you can even add another compressor and then switch them on and off. That's the cool thing about this. So I can, oops. I can hit audio effects, I can hit dynamics processor. We're gonna go up to 30 again. Gonna drop this threshold to -22. And then leave the release. We're basically copying these settings, but we're gonna drop this one at 3 milliseconds on the attack. And we're gonna have this one at 43, and we're gonna just switch on between them and see which one sounds a little bit better, like it's doing the right thing. So hear how that one is like really making sure that that bell is not ringing too loud. And that one is kind of letting the bell ring loud. But not too loud. Like it's letting it ring, but it's kind of staying there. So that's basically, any of these will sound good, but they will sound different. So that's just up to you. Personally, I'm going to go with this one down here because I know that is going to do, that's going to allow me to shape it. This one is going to hit loud, and then I can tell it to be quiet, or I could tell it to keep going. So it can, so it could be a long wave. But this one is just like, I don't want you to get loud. I want to control you the whole time. So that's the 3 milliseconds. That's the 43. So once you have the 3 milliseconds, once you have it exaggerated to a point, Now you back off of all your settings. Now you back off of your ratio. So we're going to play it, and I'm going to drop the ratio until I don't hear it, and then I'm going to bring it back up, and I'm just going to find a point at which it sounds, you know, pretty good. Not pretty good, where it sounds like how it did before. So this is the original audio. 101 means nothing's happening. See that change when I bring it up? So it looks like, it sounds like the more I go this way, the more kind of punchy it is. The more I go this way on the ratio, the more smoother it is. So I like it right here. I mean, that's a high ratio, but that's pretty smooth. That's the original. That's what I like. Now see how, now what you'll notice is the original is louder. When I do that, it's louder, and that brings the final step. Once you have all these settings, you could play with this release, but once you have all these settings, then you go up to your makeup gain, and that's just all ears. I don't care what any graph is telling you, that's all ears, meaning you gotta listen to it, switch it on and off right here, and find out if when you throw this compressor on, it has to be the same volume. It can't be louder, it can't be quieter than the original volume. It has to be the same exact volume. So that is your next step and your last step, and then you're done. So let's try it. There it is. So you notice how it doesn't get quieter or it doesn't get louder when I hit that on and off button. That's exactly where you want it. So that is fully compressed. That's how you compress using Beatmaker 3. I'll keep showing you another example. Say you didn't get it. I'll show you another example, and then we'll see if you get it from there. So delete this. Delete this. Cool. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna do a quick floor on the floor. There we go. So same principle. Go down to audio effects right here. Hit that. Pow. Add audio effect. Boom. Dynamics processor. That's your compressor. Boom. What are we doing? Turning up that ratio all the way to 20:1. What are we listening for? We're listening to grab. We're trying to make that loudest part of it, grab it so it's not as loud. So we have control of it. So the loudest part comes quick with this. Like ding ding. It's as soon as it starts, it's right there. So my guess is your compression's probably gonna have to be faster settings if you're trying to grab it. If that's what you're trying to do. So here we go. I'm just gonna grab. I'm gonna lower the threshold, and I'm gonna try to grab what I want. I'm gonna raise the attack first, and then I'm gonna do this. Something right here that really just my ears said, ooh, right there. So 21. I don't know if you got it. I'll try it again and see if your ears do the same. This is, you hear it? right there, 17. Yeah, I still like 20. Next, we're gonna grab the attack. The attack's all the way at 0. Maybe this isn't the best color to show you. The attack is at 0, but the attack is all the way at 0. So I can either just cut it all off and make it. You notice how it sounds weird, like it's missing something. That means I'm grabbing it. Point 2 still lets it hit and it slowly grabs it, but it's happening so fast that you can either go 0.1 or 0.2. It's how fast it's happening. I just dropped the threshold so I can really see what's going on. Alright, so now with this, you're going to want to play with some release, because this is just a quick sample. This is me turning the release up. Doesn't sound bad. 200. See how that has a little bit more rhythm on that release? Depending on your song, again, this depends on your song, but I'm just showing you an example of how me grabbing the attack as fast as I did and adding release makes it kind of groovier. It's moving like this now, as opposed to, you know. Okay, last final step, put makeup gain on it right here so it matches it. There it is. So it's not louder, but you can see what it's doing. It's crushing. It's like... That adds rhythm. So messing with compression changes the sound, but it can add groove. It can really add groove. One thing I would normally do is change the ratio so it's not so heavy. There it is. So there you go. You have a really well compressed, and that's how you compress using Beatmaker 3. Again, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I'll answer all those as best as I can. Again, if compression is just something you can't get, hey, don't sweat it. It takes forever to completely understand it, because really you're listening for something and you won't know what you're listening for until you try it a bunch of times, or until you make a bunch of music. So my best advice is don't compress yet. Just keep making music, and then when you go back and you hear something and you say, man, this violin is kind of soft, or it's not as, it needs more something in the you know, it needs more meat, it needs something. Compression is what it needs. So again, if you come into a project thinking I need compression first, you know, it's usually ends in bad ways. So use this sparingly. One thing this doesn't have that I like to use is a mix. So you don't necessarily have to use all this. A mix button will allow you to use less compression than you even planned. So you'll find using a mix bus, a compressor with a mix bus on it works just perfectly, because then you can really back off the compressor. You can really let your song breathe, as people say, or let your sound just get as loud as it wants to be. That's basically what people mean. So again, thank you for watching my tutorial on compression. If you guys want to learn more, I go into a lot of detail on how to make music using Beatmaker 3. It's a premium tutorial course. I'm going to add this, it's a premium tutorial course, 80 minutes long. And it's probably going to only get longer as I continue to make things using Beatmaker 3. So again, if you can support that, I do appreciate that. And a subscription would be cool too. Thank you once again, and you guys have a great rest of your day.